2005 World Team Trials, and this is one a lot of people have been waiting for. Men's freestyle, 120 kilograms. It's Steve Mocco out in the red singlet, and his opponent, national champion Tolly Thompson, in the blue singlet. Jim, why have people been so anxious for this particular bout?
Well, it's a good matchup of styles, but even more than that, you got Tolly Thompson from Janesville, Iowa, and Steve Mocco, who decided to leave Iowa for Oklahoma State University, and you know, Tolly coaches at the University of Northern Iowa, and Steve is the reigning NCAA champion, and Tolly was able to win that impressive in the national finals, Las Vegas.
Tolly pinned Steve Mocco in the national finals. I don't know if that was a wake-up call or not for Mocco. Steve Mocco was the 2003 NCAA champion for the University of Iowa. Then he went down to Cowboy Country and became the 2005 NCAA champion for Oklahoma State. But now Steve Mocco has a plateful. That's in the form of his opponent, Tolly Thompson.
And Tolly Thompson, a national champion in his own right at NCAA level with Collegiate, and also, you know, he beat Steve Mocco last year at the trials in the mini tournament, in the challenge tournament to challenge. Tolly ended up challenging Kerry McCoy. So with Kerry's retirement, you know, this weight class opened up, and there's no reason why Thompson or for that matter, Mocco can't be confident in what they're able to accomplish here.
Well, we're scoreless here. Under 30 seconds remaining in this, the first period, between Steve Mocco in the red singlet, Tolly Thompson in the blue. If we fail to score here in this first period, Jim, it's going to be the coin toss, and then the freestyle single leg clinch.
And so far, that clinch has been Thompson had the advantage in that clinch position between these two. But both athletes doing a good job of staying in the center. 1 second left. Now we're going to go to the coin flip, as you mentioned, Van.
And this is something this year, this is new since the Olympic Games in freestyle. We used to have the chest-to-chest clinch, but now it's gone to a single leg clinch.
I think this makes more sense. You know, most of these athletes will score a lot of their moves off of leg attacks. And there's all the gamesmanship that goes on, and you know, Mocco wants to get in the perfect position before he locks his hands.
He wants to get in the perfect position before he locks his hands.
Yep, and I think that he got a caution because of that. He was in good position, and he delayed his hand lock. There you go. This time he didn't delay it. He's moving right to the edge of the mat, and he'll end up scoring the point.
And he dumps Tolly Thompson right to his back as they go out of bounds, and Steve Mocco in on the leg. The single leg clinch wins the first period 3-0.
Yeah, this looks like an advantage position definitely for Mocco. So, you know, you can see his eyes. He's got his head up. He's moving right to the edge of the mat. That's where he wants to go. And we've kind of seen this situation before where you just really can't pull that off very easily.
Well, he was a bull right there, I think, Jim, as he simply drove Tolly Thompson right off the mat, right onto his back.
And right at the edge of the mat, Thompson tried to take him back over, but Mocco very well skilled in being able to slide his upper body up Thompson's torso and not allowing him to flip him over the back.
Well, that was a coin toss that enabled Steve Mocco to win the first period. We move right along into the second period now. And I have to believe that Tolly Thompson's not going to give him the leg quite like that here if he can help it.
I think there's a single leg attempt. A nice job by Mocco getting off his knees that time. He looked like he was a half shot away, and Mocco doing a very good job of, there's a point, went off the mat.
Thompson moved out to the edge of the mat and stepped off, which gives his opponent, in this case, Steve Mocco.
And they're going to go to the film on this, and
they're going to check that.
This is one of the nuances about the rules. It was clear that Thompson was in the attack position at that point. He had his center of gravity, his chest way over his hips, and he was attacking. And you know, he may have stepped out in that situation, and that's why the referee went 1 point red.
There was John Smith taking a look at it. Gordon Connell now from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, get that
running
back
the video.
on. Tell him to get back on that tube there. We don't need to see these guys. We want to see the tube. There we go, boys.
Yeah, I mean, that was
right.
Bill Steckline looking in right there. You're right. We're better off checking out the tube.
Let's see this for ourselves.
And, you know, we could almost sit and watch it here in the Hilton Coliseum on the replay board that the fans are able to watch. But there's no points tallied on that, and so the score remains 0-0.
I think that's pretty good because Thompson was clearly in the offensive position. Once you're if you're on your knees and you're in the offensive position, I don't think they're going to call the foot leaving. But Mocco, you know, looks quite a bit different than what we saw in the National Open Finals, and certainly in the first match. He I guess, was able to shoot and come off of his knees, and Thompson has yet to kind of create any angles on him like he has been in the previous 2 bouts.
Well, Tolly Thompson not only pinned Steve Mocco in the national championships, Tolly Thompson won his first bout in their matchup here earlier in the World Team Trials. 2 periods to none. He won 2-1, 1-0. But now it's Steve Mocco who won the first period, and we're scoreless here in the second period with close to 20 seconds remaining. We remain scoreless once again. Jim, the coin toss.
Yeah, the coin toss, and you know, they're going to go to a coin toss, so if you win 2 coin tosses, you're in on that shot again. Here at Thompson really trying to make a decent effort, but it looks like Mocco, with the already winning 1 period, is happy to go to the coin toss in the clinch.
Okay, now let's look at this. If they toss this coin, Stephen Mocco wins. We saw his bull-like performance in the previous toss when he won, but this time Tolly Thompson will be the man that will have the single leg clinch.
Yeah, we'll see if Tolly's able to execute the way Steve was able to execute in that position. And to this point, he has been able to.
So Tolly Thompson,
wow,
gets the clinch, but it's Mocco in on the top as they separate now. Thompson has 30 seconds to score. Well, Mocco will pick up the point and win the match. They're near the out-of-bounds line, and they're out.
Wow.
Mocco steps out. Tolly Thompson picks up the point. While they take a break, we'll take 1, 2. We'll be back in just a second. We're back to the 2005 World Team Trials here at the Hilton Coliseum at Iowa State University. Let's move ahead to action in the third period. We're tied up at 1 period apiece as we start the third and final determining period of this match. Call it a grudge match if you want. But there's Thompson in on the leg.
Nice. Oh, boy, that's good action there with 2 big boys. Whoa! That got the crowd into it.
Great action, but it was Steve Mocco who stepped out of bounds, so Tolly Thompson picks up the point.
Well, beautiful shot by Mocco, and then an excellent counter shot by Tolly Thompson. Got him to the edge, but it wasn't enough, and then he rushed him, and then for the while there, you thought that Mocco had the advantage, and then Thompson fired back into him and got him out of position. That's exciting.
Goes this way, goes that way, but Tolly Thompson takes a 1-point lead now in this third period. Tolly Thompson wins this period. He will win the match.
Here's a key right here that Tolly is not giving him that right foot sweep. He wants to foot sweep Tolly's right leg. It's been a classic Steve Mocco move. He's made famous here his time at Legion. He's just not going to give it to him.
No, he's not. Mocco is noted for those foot sweeps, as you say, and also for his power.
Look at the discipline by Thompson. Going to stay right there in the hole. 40 seconds left. Really, Thompson has an advantage here, but he's not trying to take advantage of it. I think that would have been a great opportunity to pop in on that single leg again, but
Thompson wouldn't give it to him. Both wrestlers very respectful from the strengths of their opponents here, so they're kind of doing all they can do to neutralize. A lot of pummeling going on.
Yeah, and there's an excellent slide by. Thompson has just been better creating the angles, the counter shots, and it's just made a big difference. And I know it's frustrating from Steve Mocco. He has gotten so much better on his shots this year that this is just that experience that we talked about before, maybe working in Thompson's favor.
Good look at Tolly Thompson there in the red singlet, Steve Mocco. That was quickness, if you will, explosive kinds of quickness by Tolly Thompson. Picks up the extra point. He's ahead 2-0 in this. 5 seconds remaining. And that's going to do it as Tolly Thompson defeats Stephen Mocco in front of a boisterous crowd here at the Hilton Coliseum on the campus of Iowa State University. And Tolly Thompson winning the 120-kilo freestyle match against Steve Mocco and a spot on the United States team going forth to the World Championships.
Well, he's been behind Kerry McCoy for years and years, and now he's got an opportunity to shine on his own, and he's the national champion and hometown Iowa boy anyway, and he's heading to Budapest.
And he's got the support of this crowd behind him, no two ways about that. As Tolly Thompson victorious in winning the 120-kilo matchup against Steve Mocco.
Here you see a key replay in the match, and just right there at the end, Mocco reaching for the single leg here. Looks like he's got it. Angle created by Thompson, is able to push the hand down on the mat. Once Mocco posts, it's over with. He's got the angle, and he's able to score. There's Mark Cody, the coach at American University, who spent a lot of time with Tolly Thompson at his times at Nebraska.
And the time pays off as Tolly Thompson scoots around behind, picks up the point that he needs, wins a 120-kilogram spot on the United States team. Our winner, Tolly Thompson, is standing by with our mat side man, Joe Miller.
Tolly Thompson might be able to run for mayor here of Ames, Iowa. That was one of the biggest roaring sections I've heard in quite some time at a wrestling match. It had to be a thrill for you down there.
It was. It's a thrill. That helped me in that match, you know, to keep going hard and keep fighting. I was born in Ames, Iowa, so Story County, so this is home.
Got a sense all weekend that you were, the hometown pick, the crowd favorite. It has to be a huge sense in that while you're on the mat, before your matches, after your matches. Talk about the emotion here this weekend.
Well, yeah, I stayed away from everything. You know, I focused on what I needed to get done out there. 8 minutes, I didn't accomplish one of my goals. So it went 10 and I wanted 8, so, but I'll take the win and I'll take my first world team.